Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to explore one of the absolute most incredible, almost magical capabilities of the human mind. We are talking about the profound, deeply cinematic power of musical memory. Just think about how much of your life is scored by a soundtrack you didn't even realize was playing in the background, right? Well, today we're going to look at the exact science, the biology, and the psychology behind why certain melodies act like a literal time machine, transporting us backward in a single instant. So I want you to think about a specific moment for me. Have you ever been, just going about your day? Maybe you're walking through a grocery store or sitting in a loud coffee shop, and you hear one song. Just a few notes, really. And suddenly, boom, you are completely transported. You aren't just remembering a place you haven't thought about for years. You are viscerally standing right back in it. Maybe the music takes you back to an old childhood bedroom. You can almost see the exact way the afternoon light hit the walls, right? The posters you had taped up, the specific smell of the air, and honestly, the specific kind of person you were in that exact chapter of your life. Or hey, maybe it brings you right back to driving at night. You can feel the rhythmic flashing of the streetlights cutting through the dark, the low hum of the engine, that cool breeze coming in through a cracked window, and just that feeling of endless possibility stretching out on the open road ahead of you. Or perhaps it's a first love. A single chord strikes, and suddenly you feel that exact, overwhelming rush of butterflies. The warmth, the anxiety, the sheer raw intensity of a moment you really thought was buried deep in the past, now completely alive again in your chest. It really begs a fascinating question, doesn't it? How on earth can a few mere seconds of music unlock memories your brain seemed to have completely forgotten? Like, how does a simple, invisible arrangement of sound waves bypass years and years of time and instantly open a locked door in your mind? Well, this is exactly the neurological mystery we are about to solve together today. Section 1. Music versus other sounds, the emotional time capsule. Now, to really get this, we first need to look at what makes music so uniquely powerful compared to literally everything else we hear on a daily basis. And this brilliantly illustrates the difference. Think about everyday sounds. A dog barking, a car horn, your morning alarm clock. These are utilitarian, right? Your brain processes them for immediate function, usually to alert you to danger or prompt some sort of quick action. But music? Music acts as an emotional time capsule. It's deeply, deeply layered with meaning, context, and feeling. So your brain doesn't just hear a pop song, it codes that song with the environment, the people you were hanging out with, and the exact emotions you were feeling the very moment it was playing. Moving on to Section 2, the brain's memory network, a look under the hood. So mechanically speaking, how does the brain actually pull off this whole time travel trick? Let's move to and see how this builds. It starts entirely physically. Sound waves hit the ear and convert to electrical signals in the auditory cortex. But instead of just stopping there, they hop onto this massive interconnected neural highway in a fraction of a millisecond, literally faster than you can even consciously recognize what song is playing. These signals travel directly to the brain's emotional core, the amygdala, and its memory vault, the hippocampus. It is a lightning-fast biological link between the processing of a melody and the vault where your absolute deepest memories are kept safe. Section 3. Why memories feel so emotional. Reliving the past. This neural highway we just talked about perfectly explains why these memories don't just feel like, passively looking at an old photograph. Here is the really profound distinction. When that direct neural highway is activated by a song, we don't just remember the event, we re-experience the feelings. The brain regions activated by the music are the exact same regions responsible for processing our emotions. So when the memory is retrieved, the corresponding emotional state gets pulled right up along with it. Your heart rate might suddenly change. You might get goosebumps. You might feel this unexpected huge wave of joy or melancholy. You are biologically experiencing the past emotion in the present tense. It's wild. Section 4. Why we remember songs. The anatomy of a track. Now, you might be wondering, why songs and not just regular conversations? Let's look at why music actually sticks. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that there's basically a perfect storm of memory retention at play here. First, repetition physically carves stronger neural pathways in our brains. Then, melody provides a predictable, easy-to-follow structure that the brain just absolutely loves. Rhythm literally taps into our motor systems, which, by the way, is exactly why you often can't help but tap your foot before you even realize you're doing it. And finally, emotional significance acts as the super glue holding the whole shebang together. When you combine structure, physical engagement, repetition, and deep feeling, you create a memory that is virtually indestructible. Section 5. Unlocking Forgotten Memories, Science and Therapy. Because these musical memories are so structurally sound, they actually have incredible real-world applications. The science here is very clear and very grounded. Researchers have found substantial, measurable evidence linking familiar music to enhanced memory recall. And this is particularly true for individuals experiencing cognitive decline. Because the neural networks associated with music are so deeply entrenched and widely distributed all across the brain, they often remain intact even when other memory pathways start to degrade. So by playing familiar songs from a person's youth, therapists can actually help reconnect those dormant neural pathways, safely guiding the mind around damaged areas to unlock moments, names, and feelings that families thought were lost forever. It really is a powerful testament to how music is hardwired into our very biology. So the crucial point is this. Music is far, far more than just entertainment. It is an architectural framework for our entire life story. The way a simple arrangement of notes can just bypass the conscious mind, light up our neural pathways, and vividly resurrect a forgotten moment, it just proves how beautifully complex our brains really are. This is truly where music meets the mind, acting as a structural bridge between who we were back then and who we are today. I want to leave you with this final thought to ponder the next time you hear an old favorite song come on the radio. Consider this. Sometimes music isn't taking you back. Your brain never really left. The memories, the emotions, the exact sensory details of your past, they are all still there, perfectly preserved inside you, just waiting for the right notes to unlock the door. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer, and remember to keep listening closely to the soundtrack of your life.